Yo, what's up, Hockey Ghosters? What's going on? I'm going to be recapping the NFL draft right now because it was probably the weirdest draft I've ever watched. It just was. My mock draft was in the dumpster by the first pick, and I'm going to be looking at the draft order right now because it's really hard to memorize it. I know all the players that went to the teams, but it's really hard to memorize what team went in that order. Number 1, Baker Mayfield, the biggest shock, in my opinion, of the night. Because Denzel Ward at number 4 really didn't shock me. I expected him to be picked at number 4. I really didn't think they would pick Bradley Chubb. But I'm getting off topic. Number 1, Baker Mayfield, quarterback, Oklahoma. And everyone says everyone with a Twitter account would know this would happen. I don't know. I expected them to pick Sam Darnold, but they didn't. Off to number 2, I hated this pick. I bashed this pick all night, and I wouldn't pick him second overall. I wouldn't pick a running back in the first round. Saquon Barkley, even as strong and fast as he is, running backs are a dime a dozen, and chances are in 5 or 6 years he's done. Look at Adrian Peterson. But I really hated the pick for Saquon Barkley out of Penn State. Number 3, I loved this pick. I freaking loved it. Good job. Good on you, Jets, picking Sam Darnold, quarterback, USC. I did not expect him to go to number 3. Didn't expect anybody to go where they did in this draft, honestly. And number 4, I expected this all day long. Denzel Ward, defensive back, Ohio State. I had him going number 4 on my mock draft. Number 5, I love this pick also. I pretty much loved all these picks because they were so weird. Number 5, Bradley Chubb, defensive end, NC State. Now you have someone to pair with Von Miller. You're starting to rebuild this defense, and I love that pick. Good on you, John Elway. And number 6, Indianapolis Colts. You picked my boy. You picked my favorite player at Notre Dame because Ronnie Stanley and Deshaun Kaiser were gone. You picked Quentin Nelson. You picked my guy. Good on you, Colts. You got someone to protect Andrew Luck now. I love this pick, honestly. Number 7, Tampa Bay traded this pick to the Buffalo Bills, and it ended up being their guy, Josh Allen, quarterback, Wyoming. I love this pick also. He's the most physically gifted quarterback in this draft at 6'6", cannon for an arm. I love this pick. Number 8 was the Chicago Bears, and we're getting to my second favorite pick of the night at number 9, San Francisco. But let's say with this pick at number 8, Roquan Smith, linebacker, Georgia. I didn't expect that pick, honestly. That pick just really drove me through the roof. I really didn't expect that. I expected Smith to fall to number 10 with Oakland, and that's why Oakland traded down to number 15. They traded with Arizona. I'll get to that. And now number 9, my second favorite pick of the night after Quentin Nelson, Mike McGlinchey, offensive tackle, Notre Dame. In my opinion, the best tackle in this draft. He really is. He's strong, he's smart at what he does, and now you have someone to protect Jimmy G. All right, number 10 is Oakland, but they traded it to San Francisco. I'm sorry, they traded it to Arizona, and Arizona ended up picking their guy, Josh Rosen, quarterback, UCLA. I love that pick also. Josh Rosen was my favorite quarterback entering this draft, besides for Josh Allen, and Josh Rosen goes to Arizona. He automatically wins because he has Larry Fitzgerald. I get Josh Allen has Kelvin Benjamin, but I think Benjamin's overrated. And he gets a future Hall of Famer in Larry Fitzgerald. Josh Rosen automatically wins. Even though Larry Fitzgerald's like 100 years old and he's ageless. Age is just a number, and he's proven that. Good on Larry Fitzgerald and good on Josh Rosen. Congrats to Josh Rosen. Number 11, the Miami Dolphins. They pick Minkah Fitzpatrick, defensive back, Alabama, baby. What? I didn't expect that. I expected them to pick Vita Vea. And then the next pick is number 12 in Tampa Bay. With the trade in Buffalo, they get that pick. And they select Vita Vea, defensive tackle, Washington. Another Washington defensive tackle, along with Danny Shelton with the Patriots. who was picked a while ago in the first round. And number 13, the Washington Redskins select Daron Payne, defensive tackle, Alabama. Wasn't expecting that either. This draft was so weird. Did I expect Daron Payne to jump up all the way to number 13? Not really. And now number 14, Green Bay trades this pick to the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans moves up all the way from number 27 all the way to number 14. It was a crazy jump. And they, in my opinion, wasted it in picking Marcus Davenport, defensive end, Texas San Antonio. I expected that pick to be Lamar Jackson. Drew Brees isn't getting any younger, and I really expected it to be Lamar Jackson. And number 15, the Oakland Raiders from the trade with the Arizona Cardinals, and they use it to select. They selected Colton Miller, tackle, UCLA. Wow. Did I expect Miller to move up all the way from, in my mock draft, number 30 all the way to number 15? That's 15 picks up. Jeez. Like, that's crazy, man. Colton Miller, good on you, man. Congrats. Get out there and play for Oakland. Play with Donald Penn, man. Congrats. All right, number 16, the Baltimore Ravens, but they trade down with... I forgot who they traded down with. Oh, they traded with Buffalo, and Buffalo did the stupidest thing, in my opinion. They didn't pick Calvin Ridley. They didn't give their young quarterback a weapon. They picked Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker, Virginia Tech. I hated it. I thought they would pick Calvin Ridley. I honestly hated the pick. All right. Number 17, the San Diego/LA Chargers. I like calling them San Diego still, even though they're not. And they used that pick to select Derwin James, defensive back, Florida State. A Knoll has entered the NFL, and it's Derwin James. I expected him to go number 9, honestly. Number 18, the Seattle Seahawks, but they traded down, I believe. Yes, they did trade down with... I forgot who they traded down with. No, how could I forget this? How could I freaking forget this? Who did they trade with? Who did the Seattle Seahawks trade with? No. They didn't trade with Buffalo. No, they didn't trade with Buffalo, I don't think. Who traded up? I forgot. Because if Seattle would have stayed, they would have picked Josh Jackson, but they didn't stay. And then they didn't trade with Dallas, because Dallas picked Leighton Vander Esch with that pick. I know Seattle traded down. Number 27. I think they traded with, who picked number 27? They traded with the Packers. And the Packers picked Jair Alexander, defensive back, Louisville. I knew it would come back to me. All right, number 19, the Dallas Cowboys, Leighton Vander Esch, linebacker, Boise State, in the hometown of Dallas, where the draft is. Number 20, the Detroit Lions select Frank Ragnow, center, Arkansas. I hadn't even heard of him. I honestly hadn't until he was picked number 20 to Detroit. 21, I expected this pick from Cincinnati. It is Billy Price, center, Ohio State, the Ohio State University. All right, 22, this was Buffalo's trade down, I think. And Buffalo traded with the Titans, I believe. And the Titans used that pick to select Rashaan Evans, linebacker, Alabama. I think I'm mixing this up. I think I'm getting it right, though, at the same time. And the Titans used number 22 to select Rashaan Evans. And they picked Harold Landry, the guy who I thought they would pick in the first round, in the second round out of Boston College. All right, number 23 is the New England Patriots, and they selected Isaiah Wynn, guard, Georgia. Hey, good on you guys. I thought that would be Lamar Jackson, honestly. Lamar Jackson just fell so far. But they did pick Danny Etling out of LSU and later in the draft for Tom Brady to mentor. Leave down in the comments if he's the quarterback for the future. Number 24, the Carolina Panthers, man. What are the Panthers doing? Well, I guess Wynn was off the board, so you really didn't have a choice, and they picked DJ Moore, the guy who I really wanted the Jags to pick, but he wasn't there. They picked him a wide receiver out of Maryland, also known as DJ Moore. Number 25, the Titans traded this pick to... Who did the Titans trade up with? I'm so confused. Who was 25? 25 was Baltimore, and they selected Hayden Hurst, tight end, South Carolina. And this was the weirdest pick because they picked Mark Andrews also, so they ended up with 2 tight ends. And so did Miami. Miami got Gesicki. And another tight end. I forgot who it was. And number 26 are the Atlanta Falcons, and they select Calvin Ridley, wide receiver, Alabama. Wow. I honestly thought that was going to be Taven Bryan. They needed a DT, and they didn't pick him. 27, the Green Bay Packers traded up. I'm so confused. And the Packers traded with the Seahawks. This is the Seahawks, and they used it to select Rashawn Penny. Is it Rashawn Penny or Deshaun Penny? I forgot. Running back, San Diego State. Another weird pick. I thought they were gonna pick Taven Bryan because you're trying to rebuild your defense, aren't you? You got rid of Sheldon Richardson. You got rid of Mike Bennett. You got rid of Richard Sherman. You need someone else on this defense, but they didn't pick Taven Bryan. 28, the Steelers. They used that to select Tremaine Edmonds' brother, Terrell Edmonds, safety, Virginia Tech. 29, Jacksonville Jaguars. Baby, I thought it was going to be Will Hernandez, but Taven Bryan, defensive tackle, Florida. You wasted the 29th overall pick. And I honestly think his upside is through the freaking roof, guys. But did you really need a defensive tackle? That tells me that Marcel Darius, Malik Jackson, Avery Jones, one of them is going to be cut. And Taven Bryan and Dante Fowler will be done by the end of the year. They won't give him a 5th-year option. No, and the 30th overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings. I'll come back to the Jags in a minute. Minnesota Vikings. Mike Hughes falls all the way down to number 30 out of defensive back Central Florida. 31 are the Patriots. By the way, you cheated. And they selected Sony Michel, running back, Georgia. Didn't expect for him to fall in the first round. And number 32, the Philadelphia Eagles trade this pick to the Baltimore Ravens. And the Baltimore Ravens select Lamar Jackson, quarterback, Louisville. Finally, baby, finally Lamar is selected. And he was saying in the interview, I wouldn't want this any other way. I'm happy to be a Raven. Good for you, Lamar. Green jacket. I love that jacket, Lamar. Good on you, man. And now I'm going to talk about the 5th round with the Seattle Seahawks and the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders selected Maurice Hurst, defensive tackle, Michigan. He falls all the way into the 5th round. And the Seattle Seahawks select Shaquem Griffin, linebacker, Central Florida. Good on you, Shaquem. Good for you, man. I'm happy to see you in the NFL. One hand, man. You can get through it. I know you can. You get to play with your brother, Shaquille Griffin. I'm happy for you, man. And let's talk about the Jaguars' 2nd round. They picked DJ Chark, roommates with Leonard Fournette at LSU, wide receiver LSU. I'm excited to see that. Wow. 3rd round, Ronnie Harrison, safety, Alabama. Deshaun Gibson and Barry Church are so bad. You need someone to replace them. And then their 4th round was Will Richardson, tackle, NC State. Did I like this pick? Yeah, you needed a right tackle, kick Parnell out. But, he's got a little bit of character issues. He's been busted for marijuana possession and a DUI and got booted for a semester at North Carolina State. I don't know what to think about this guy. I just will have to see about him because your offensive line is much better. Left tackle Cam Robinson, center Brandon Linder, guard Andrew Norwell, and now right tackle Will Richardson, NC State. I don't really know what to think about that pick, honestly. I got no idea. And then in the 5th round, we selected Tanner Lee, quarterback, Nebraska. 5th round we didn't have a pick. 6th round we picked Tanner Lee, quarterback, Nebraska. And then in the 7th round we picked a linebacker from Wisconsin, and we picked some punter. I forgot who it was. But anyway, let's talk about the 2nd round. Cortland Sutton goes to Denver. Now I don't know what I'm talking about. Now Will Hernandez falls to the Giants. Connor Williams goes to the Cowboys. All these players who fell out of the 1st round go to some teams. Malik Jefferson, forgot who he went to. Mason Rudolph goes to the Steelers. Oklahoma State. Wow. Did not expect that. Alright, this is where I'm going to end the video, and it ended up to be 14 and a half minutes long. Jeez. Anyway, peace, Hockey Ghosters. Have a great day.